Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us again in the next video of the Hunt Showdown Beginner series. This video we will be looking at consumables, and the next one after this will be tools. The first video, which I will link in the description below, does cover purchasable traits, and as I mentioned in that video, we are going to be looking at it from a beginner's point of view. You know, kind of if I could go back in time to tell myself what to do as a new player, how to kind of develop your own play style. Basically, yeah, what I wish I knew before getting into the game. That's kind of where we're coming at it from. So if you are a more experienced player, what I would suggest is to try and help new players by commenting below. We can open up a discussion in terms of why I think the way I think. We can compare notes, and at the end of the day, I just hope that it will, of course, help new players get into the game and learn it as quickly as possible. Now, I will address the reason why there was a big gap between the first video and this video. It was a pretty major life-changing event happened. Unfortunately, my mother passed away, and it absolutely floored me in terms of putting my creative hat on, feeling like I was able to do, you know, anything to do with, you know, being on the internet. I suppose I took a lot of time off. Even as a viewer, I just was not in the right headspace. As you can imagine, I was completely, you know, hit me like a ton of bricks, and only now am I feeling like I can get back on the bike and start, you know, putting more content out there. So, you know, bear with me during this time. As I say, it's been very, very difficult, and I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who has supported me during this time, whether it be messages offline on Discord or anything, or even when I came back to streaming recently, you know, just some nice messages there saying that you missed me and things like that. That absolutely helped me a lot, and it will help me going forward as I kind of navigate trying to get back into this space and creating more content for you guys to watch. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the first video that I put out on YouTube, I'm about just over 400 hours into the game, and I'm a 5-star player at the moment. Obviously that can fluctuate up and down, but that's where I'm at the moment, and I'm kind of in that middle ground, I suppose, between being considered an experienced player and considered someone who's just picked up the game. So I really want to, you know, help those people, giving them the advice that I wish I had. And we just had the event drop as well with the Garden of the Witch, so it's a good time to get into the game and a good time to start learning different strategies which will help you develop your own playstyle, and hopefully, you know, you can then give that advice on to the next person picking up the game as well. So let's get into it. If you are a more experienced player, please do comment below. Ultimately, you know, we're trying to help new people pick up this game, so I really hope this does help you. And just to remind you as well that I'm going to be fighting myself here, even in this first consumable that's coming up, the ammo box. Just because I run it doesn't mean to say I would advise you run it as a new player, but that will become clearer as the tier list goes on. So starting with that, the ammo box, I run it all the time. All the time I would put in A, but for a newer player who is probably not going to use as much ammunition as an experienced player, in that case I would say it's B tier. Now it's quite cheap, it's 65. But if you're running a bow, something like that, then this is perfect. You know, it'll give you special ammo, it'll give you normal ammo. But again, I'm fighting myself. I really want to put it A, but for a new player, I would put it into B. Now, in terms of a Antidote Shot, now these, again, I'm probably fighting myself a little bit, because when you find, say, like an Antidote Shot out in the map, I would just, you know, pop it immediately. But in terms of poison damage and recovering from poison, it's just not become that important, I suppose. Maybe it's just me it's just not affected me as much. Whereas I would have put this maybe higher previously. I honestly think that it's B. You've got the Antidote Shot, and then you've got the weak. So I'd put the weak in C. But again, this is difficult for me. In terms of poison, I have been hit with poison, yes. But the only advice I can give for, I suppose, a new player is to watch out with hives and things like that. So that's where you'll get most of your poison damage from. Or you know, if someone's running like a hand crossbow or something and you see poison clouds, which yes, of course you'll see as a more experienced player, but I don't know, as a new player it just hasn't affected me as much. I would say B and C. Again, I have to fight myself, but for that reason. Next one, the big Dynamite Bundle. I put that in C as well, just simply because, well, it is big and clunky. You're not able to throw it as far. It's got a bigger blast radius, of course, but I can't put it in the same bracket as the normal Dynamite Bundle. It's got that kind of mix of being able to throw it far and the explosive, you know, the radius of the explosion. It just kind of perfects it. And big Dynamite Bundle, I'm not saying is bad. I just think that the normal Dynamite Bundle is better. So I'm going to put that into C. Next one, which is the Chaos Bomb. F tier immediately. All that does is, you know, you throw it away. You'll pick this up a lot on the map. You throw it away and it simulates a gunfight, and it's very clearly obvious. It's quite obvious that it is a Chaos Bomb. You'll get the odd time where you'll get surprised by it. One of your teammates might throw it and you'll go, oh, and then it'll take you a few seconds and you go, oh, it's a Chaos Bomb. But it's 15 for a reason. I don't think it's worth it at all, so I would definitely put it into F. Now the next one is the Choke Beetle. Again, it's quite cheap, 22. Putting it into D, I don't think it's useless, because it does have one specific use that I can help with, is if you pick it up and one of your teammates is down and they get set on fire, but you don't have a clear line of sight where you're able to throw a choke bomb on them. So throwing out a Choke Beetle through, you know, around a few corners. Or if you find an enemy team locked up in a compound and they're not moving, you just want to go and throw a Choke Beetle in there, pop it, and you'll be able to hear exactly where they are. Maybe get some wall bangs off. So in that scenario, those two scenarios anyway, I'd put it in D. The next one, which is the Concertina Bomb, I like this a lot. I would put this in A. Couple of reasons. If you or your teammate drop someone and you don't have any burns on you where you have to burn the body, you can throw a Concertina Bomb. This will explode over them and they will not be able to be rezzed. It'll stop their teammates coming to res them. It'll stop, you know, someone trying to res them from afar, because if they get up, they're going to die again immediately. And it does a little bit of explosive damage as well. I got killed by a Concertina Bomb yesterday, and you know, it might hit something else that's nearby, and then that gets more damage on you as well. So they are useful. They're quite useful for blocking any doorways, compounds, things like that. But just beware. I would suggest not to. I mean, you might want to do this. You might want to try and, you know, block yourself into a compound. I wouldn't suggest it, because 9 times out of 10, any team I've seen do that, they end up being the losers in the gunfight. But you might want to just try it once to see if it works for you. But I wouldn't recommend it. But I like a Concertina Bomb. Very good to have. I will put it in A. Next one is the Dark Dynamite Satchel. This is the dynamite that you can activate in Darksight and immediately put in F. I have not been killed by one of these since they've been introduced. They're way too expensive. They are so niche. Never even had one activated nearby me. I've seen some people, you know, meme it where they throw it on an extract and they activate it as they are trying to get out, and that's quite funny, but in real life, in the actual game, it's not useful in my opinion. So for that reason, I put it in F. It's not worth it. Now, for me, the normal Dynamite Bundle, it just gets that mix between throwing distance and explosive radius. It works. It's great. Put it in A. It will do you well. That's the one to take from the beginning, I suppose. Next one, the Dynamite Stick, which is just the Dynamite Stick by itself. For the reasons that I mentioned earlier, it doesn't get the mix right. It's not got the power. You're still going to kill someone with it, of course, but I can't put it in the same bracket as the Dynamite Bundle. It's cheap, yes. I mean, if you notice the big Dynamite Bundle, 110, this is 18. So for that reason, putting it into C as well. Now, next one is the Fire Beetle. Now, I like the Fire Beetle. I really, really like the Fire Beetle. It is good not only for gathering information if you're playing that support role that I mentioned in the first video, but also you can pop it next to someone and you've got a chance of taking a bar away from them if they've got the small health bar. So it's very good to have in your arsenal, especially if you're picking it off a tree. You can pick it up in the map, so that's why I'm not putting it higher. You'll start to notice the trees that you can get these beetles off of. So for that reason, I'm putting it into B, 57 points as well. Again, it's all right. It's pretty good. I would take this and another beetle, which I will talk about very shortly. Now, the next one is the Fire Bomb. Now, I like the Fire Bomb because it is kind of activate straight away. It's another throwable. It creates basically like a petrol bomb effect, and it's good for not only burning bodies, but for the effect that is, again, away from the Dynamite Bundle. You need to wait for, you might want to cook it a little bit and then throw it, but you still have to wait for the explosion. Fire Bomb, you're throwing it, it activates on contact. So if someone's in a room, if someone's behind cover, this is perfect to get them out, and they need to put the fire out. So for that reason, along with burning bodies and things like that, I will put that definitely into A. I like it a lot. Flash Bomb, F immediately. I have never, ever in 440 hours of this game been hit by a flash bomb, blinded. I've never used one, never seen one used. It takes a long time to throw. It's pretty ineffective. It's just not worth it. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. So for that reason, an F. There's not much more I can talk about it. A Frag Bomb. I love a Frag Bomb. Same as kind of the Dynamite Bundle. It's just perfect with that kind of throwing distance, explosive radius. I love it. So I compare it directly to the Dynamite Bundle. It's just great. In fact, I'll put it above the Dynamite Bundle. I love it. I think you should, if you were to like pick one throwable, I would say the Frag Bomb. Hellfire Bomb, again, similar to the Fire Bomb itself. It's just quite effective at getting people out of cover, but you get a little bit of explosive damage on it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move that down one, simply because there's certain scenarios where you can't use this, like in water and something like that. It's a little bit more expensive. It's over double the price of a Fire Bomb, but I think that's merited. So for that reason, I'm going to put that into A. Now, a Hive Bomb. I like a Hive Bomb. In terms of Hive Bombs, again, it's something you can find out on the map. But I also like it because it keeps people preoccupied. If you're outnumbered and you throw this while you're trying to get away, you might have two people after you. That'll turn into one person after you, and you might be able to then even out the numbers. You'll get into one gunfight, kill someone, and then you'll be able to fight the other person. Same with clearing a room. If someone's in there, they've just got their shotgun cocked on a door, you can throw a Hive Bomb in there. I like it. It's 40. I suggest trying it out. It's very useful. Liquid Fire Bomb. Now this is one that you can use in different scenarios, like in water and something like that. I mean, it's okay. It's probably same as B, but I'll put it lower as the Fire Bomb. I like it. I mean, it's 35. Sorry, I put the Fire Bomb lower. It's 35. I mean, there's not too many scenarios where it's going to be amazing compared to the normal Fire Bomb, but it's worth the extra 5 just for where you're able to use it. So I'll put it into B. Again, good for just that immediate on contact damage. You don't need to wait. Explosive kind of part of it happens immediately, so I like it for that scenario. Next one is the Medipack F. There's a million of them on the map, and you'll be running first aid kits. So for that reason, it's got to go into F. And the next one, Poison Bomb. If you're going to run poison, just run the hand crossbow, and then you can switch it. You can have two, different types of crossbow bolt. So why would you run a poison bomb as well? It just, for me, it doesn't make any sense. F. Next one is the recovery shot. Now this is one of the newer consumables. Now I like it a lot, but it is $140 $100. I don't know why I keep saying points, dollars. However, I'm fighting myself on this one because the mindset of taking this recovery shot, of gaining back a health bar if you go down, is kind of like going into a game saying, well, I'm going to go down here, so I need to bring this. You don't want to have that mindset, of course, but as a new player, it's inevitably going to happen. That's it. It's unavoidable. So why wouldn't you take it? If you've got the money, I reckon you should give it a shot. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into A. And not only that, you can use it on other people. Next one, Regen Shot. Awesome. Gives you health over time for, I think it was 10 minutes. It's gone down to 7.5. Again, I might have my numbers wrong. I'll have it on the screen somewhere because it just recently changed. But if you're getting into a gunfight, it's handy just to pop that at the beginning of that fight, especially in compounds, when you're fighting along with the boss and there's people rushing you. For that reason, it is S. Now, Regen Shot for the week, because that one is in S, I put this one in A, just simply because it is less time. However, in a bounty clash, take the week, because the advantage that has over the other one is it's quicker to apply. You don't need as much time in a bounty clash, and sometimes you just need to get it, to pop that Regen Shot. You're more worried about the time it takes to actually use it. So for that reason, I put that in A and the regen in so the week in A and the normal regen in S. Stalker Beetle, same as the Fire Beetle. It's just easy to use in terms of if you want to be that person playing support role, you're sending a Beetle out, start tagging people where you are. A lot of your visual traits that affect your vision in Darksight, like if you're looking for vigilance and things like that, you can see traps that will happen. That will also take effect, in the Beetle view. So it's all very good. This one, however, this will poison someone. It's not going to take a bar off someone, but when you pop it next to them, it will poison them. So it's good to have to pop it next to someone. Maybe your teammates are just about to run into a compound. You poison someone first, they can't heal. So for that reason, put it just below the Fire Beetle because of the possibility of losing the health bar. Stamina Shot, another S tier, and exactly the same with the week. I put that in A, and the same as before. Same with Bounty Clash. If you using it for Bounty Clash, use the weak one because you don't need it as long. This one, it doesn't matter, I suppose, as much in terms of the time it takes to actually use it, but I would always take a stamina shot anyway. There are traits that can help you to not take one, because obviously stamina shot's what, 100? It's still quite expensive, whereas you could have a trait that allows you to kind of top up your stamina now and again, like Conduit is an example. So I'm going to separate them out, obviously S and A, just like I did before, but the stamina shot is king. Take it with you if you can. A lot of my teammates, they take 2 of them for getting in and getting out, and I get that. But you've got determination down to like 1 trait point now, you know, Greyhound's down to 2. It's as much as that is the case, still S and still A. Sticky Bomb, these are very handy for killing bosses quickly. So for that reason, I'm going to put it as a B. As I reckon it's pretty good. Not one of your top consumables that you're going to take, but it is very handy to attach to a boss and then get the hell out of there, because if that boss is running after you, you want to get away as soon as possible. Otherwise, not only are you going to take a big chunk of health off the boss, you're going to die. So just stick it, get out of there as quick as possible. 64 is not bad. I like it. Toolbox, another F. There's toolbox all over the map. Now, I could see this being handy where, you know, if you've got a spear and you lose it through the floor or something, you're just unable to see it, then yeah. And you know what? For that reason, I'll put it to D, just for that case. But again, it's pointless taking it. Right, now, Vitality Shot. I know I hate to do this just because it's shots, but I will put this as S tier. You might see a lot of people try arguing with me on this, but you are trying to get a big chunk of health as quickly into you as possible, as much as you have first aid kits. If you are in a tricky situation and you just want to get those health, your health back up, having a Vitality Shot, get into cover, stick it in your arm, and you've got your health back immediately and you're back in the gunfight. Okay, you might be 3-on-3, 2v2. You get hit, that takes you out of that gunfight, and then 2v1 against your teammate. You want to get back into that gunfight as quickly as possible. Now, it's not as important as a regen shot in terms of overtime, but it's good to have. Vitality Shot for the weak. Again, this is another one where the time it takes to actually use it is also a bonus. So for that reason, take it. The weak is 20 as well, you know. Vitality Shot, the main one, is $85 as well. So for that reason, I'm going to put it high. Some people might have it a bit lower, but for me, it's going to be high. And lastly is the waxed Dynamite Stick. Now for this one, I'm going to put it in B, kind of to separate the Dynamite Bundle and the Dynamite Stick. But the reason is just simply because not only can you throw it into water and explode, I mean, I've never had a scenario where I've kind of had to worry about that yet, but it works in clouds. So if someone is trying to res someone, and you want to throw that Dynamite Stick, wax Dynamite Stick through the cloud to get them, you can, and it will kill them. So that's a scenario where that can work and has worked for me in the past. So I would say wax Dynamite Stick in the middle between your Frag Bomb, Dynamite Bundle, and your small Dynamite Stick and big Dynamite Bundle. So slap bang right in the middle. Guys, thank you for watching the consumables video. Now, if you have any comments, especially from the more experienced players, please do drop them below. We are all working together, hopefully, to try and get more people into this game, and that Any information that we can give to them is absolutely vital in helping people develop their own playstyle. The more opinions, the better. But from my point of view, this tier list should absolutely help you in getting into this game. Now, the next one will be for tools, and then after that we'll move into the guns. Probably start with pistols, shotguns, etc. So thank you very much, guys. I really hope this has helped you, and please stay tuned to more of these videos, not just for Hunt Showdown, but for different games. And of course, as always, please drop a comment, share this video, and please subscribe. We'll have a lot more content coming your way. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.